Earlier, we were asking, what have we learned about BYU spring football up to this point? What have you learned about your team in BYU spring football this season?
I've learned just lately, from the start, having Coach Grimes come in with this new intensity, we're starting a new culture around here. So I just learned that we were able to learn quickly and able to execute and just change the culture that was negative after a losing season to bouncing back and just forgetting the past, moving on to the forward. Obviously personally, I've learned a lot. Coach Grimes coming from LSU, their tight ends were big time blockers, and last year I was more flexed out. They kind of did what I could, so I didn't have to block as much because I wasn't doing the best. I just wasn't in the situation. I didn't have the right technique. So I've been learning a lot, just different technique, just starting from the bottom, starting all over again with blocking. And I still have a lot to go. I'm gonna have a lot to work on throughout the summer, but definitely that blocking and just different routes.
We hear the phrase changing the culture quite a bit in athletics. How has this coaching staff done that?
Well, I think it's easier to start with a new culture when almost there's a whole new coaching staff. There's new guys that we have to meet, that we have to make good impressions with, that we have to get to know their personalities, how they coach. So the culture changes when a new offensive coordinator and he brings in a new staff. But having the same players, we haven't had many transfers or anything like that. So I think the main thing is just forgetting the past and just trusting the process, trusting what they have, their intelligence of the game and their new setup and what they're going to teach us. So I think it's just trusting them, and that's how, for the players, I think that's how we've changed the culture.
What bigger change are you more ready for? Marriage or the offense and the new season?
That's a tough question. I don't know. Obviously, hopefully I'm ready for both. I try to be well-rounded, so I'm trying to be preparing myself in both ways. So marriage, that's coming up, and it's coming sooner in about 2.5 months, but the football season we have to be preparing also. So I'm just going to say I'm going to be organized and I'm going to be well-rounded to prepare for both.
Oh, that's a good answer, Matt. Good answer.
So when you look at the possibilities of what this offense can do, and realizing you guys at this point have probably just scratched the surface, how excited do you get about what's possible?
It's really exciting. We didn't have the best practice today, or we haven't had our perfect practices. Maybe we never will, but there's always these bright spots in practice where the quarterbacks throw perfect balls to the wide receivers, or the spacing on our routes or our blocking where the running backs can just run free and get a long run. So just as the bright spots, I think it's been really exciting seeing what we can do, and if we hone our skills and our techniques and we just work hard to execute every play. By game one, we should have some great plays and we should really execute on offense and score some points.
I know you haven't forgotten that you were the spring game MVP last year. Who's your early projection for the spring game MVP this year?
Hopefully, thinking about it, some running backs that have been doing well. Hopefully one of the running backs, Squally or Zakatoa, he goes by Peony or Beanie.
Yeah.
Beanie Katoa, he's really worked hard. He's getting interviewed right over there, but he's going in and out. He's always getting extra work, running super hard. So I'd be really happy to see him or Squally or Riley Burt just have a day and run all over the place.
Do you have a nickname, by the way? Since we're talking about Zach's nickname, do you have something that that maybe your teammates call you? Or are you just Matt?
Well, a lot of people, no one really calls me Matt. My whole life people call me Bush. That's just like a typical thing. One guy calls me, Tanner Jacobson started calling me the Burning Bush. I don't know if that's sacrilegious, but that's what he called me. But I'd say just Bush is fine.
Oh, Matt. You've said a lot of fantastic things to us. That's probably number one right there. Probably number one. In an ideal world, and I'm trying not to focus on the Burning Bush comment. In an ideal world, where will this team be at the end of spring football? Because you're always going to say, we got things to work on and improve on, but where would you like to be at the end of the spring?
Well, we only have this week left. By the end, I think we just want, by the end of this week or this Saturday, I think we just need to have confidence going into this summer and preparing for fall camp. I mean, I think all of us are a lot more confident, but we need to believe in ourselves. And I think by the end of this week, we are believing in ourselves, and we are believing what we have going on is going to be a success. So, I mean, we just need to have that mindset throughout the off season. Hopefully we can show out this last week that we can get better each practice and during the scrimmage. But I think we just need to trust ourselves, trust the coaches, and I think by the end of this offseason we'll be a lot further ahead than we were last year. And hopefully throughout the offseason we can be working on our own and as players so that we can prepare to be at a higher level come fall camp.
Well, isn't that really what a lot of spring is? I mean, sure, you're implementing a lot of new stuff, but isn't it really all about setting the foundation for the rest of the offseason and getting ready for fall?
Yeah, that's the thing. We have to set the foundation, have some of the newcomers show what they can do, and hopefully they can get in the mix. And I mean, we've had guys do that this spring, so it's really exciting. And yeah, as long as we have that foundation set, we just need to keep building on top of that, and we should have something great.
Chad Lewis is your soon-to-be father-in-law, but he also has a wealth of knowledge when it comes to football. What's the best bit of football knowledge he has shared with you in your time at BYU?
The best football knowledge, I'd say he just keeps it real with me and just always, no matter how frustrated I am with my blocking or with dropping a random pass, he's just really positive with me. I think he sees the bigger picture when sometimes we don't see that. So I like that he acknowledges that and that he reminds me of the bigger picture. Okay, you might not have blocked that well, but you're blocking great for a sophomore. Or since you're a catching tight end, you need to be more well-rounded, but you're doing great. You just keep progressing, and that positivity helps just hearing it because sometimes, I don't know, you just forget about it. So just hearing it from someone who has so much experience and has done what he's done, it's definitely nice to hear, just to forget and just keep trying to build up and work on the positive things.
I think the natural progression after that question would be, what is the best non-football knowledge Chad Lewis has dropped on you at this point?
The non-football knowledge? I don't know. We talk about football a lot, honestly. Emily gets kind of annoyed sometimes or thinks that I get annoyed. But no, I just soak it all in. So, I mean, other than football, yeah, I don't know. You just
football is life lessons,
that's life.
Jason.
Football is life, yes.
Is life
Football
lessons.
is life, so we can't talk about anything else.
Fair enough. Matt, always great to talk to you. I know that you mentioned to us last year that the person you were most afraid of when it came to dropping a ball was your mom.
Right.
Is that still the case right now? Or has Jeff Grimes kind of entered up into that area?
Coach Grimes is entering, but I think my mom's still at the top. But yeah, Coach Grimes he's up there. He's made his statement. So hopefully I don't drop any balls, and we'll keep going from there.
All right, Matt. How about some BYU Sports Nation karma for the rest of spring camp?
Some BYU Sports Nation karma?
Yeah.
We're giving it to you.
Okay, perfect.
We're giving you the karma.
You cool with that?
Yeah, it's perfect.
Okay. It's delivered.
Thank you.
Thanks, Matt.
Thank you.
The All-American freshman